Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to First Question. We'll take a few today, and we'll get started with John Wong, who writes, with the DREAM Act and the Defense Authorization Bill up for a vote today, is the President working with Senator Reid to make sure they get cloture? John, the answer is yes. The President has spoken with Democrats and Republicans about both the DREAM Act and Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal. Both legislative priorities of his before Congress leaves town by the end of this year, and things he believes has to get done immediately. They're right for the American people, and under his watch, we'll get them both done. Peter Forsberg writes, why can't President Obama call Republicans bluff, say no, will not cut taxes for the rich? If the non-rich don't get their tax cut, blame the Republicans. Peter, thanks for the question. I think it sounds like a simple proposition, but my guess is that on January 1st, when middle-class families woke up all over this country, they'd realize that Washington was playing political games with their paychecks, and their taxes would go up $3,000. And everybody, Democrat and Republican, would get blamed for this failure. What it would really do is not just hurt that middle-class family, but do great damage to our economy. The President doesn't believe that we can afford to do that damage to the economy. But most importantly, Peter, I think if you look at what the President got, the agreement that he signed with Republicans, not signed, the agreement with Republicans actually helps middle-class families with a better tax cut, unemployment benefits that will help the economy, and most importantly, a payroll tax cut of 2% for employees. That comes directly, that's something you're not going to pay in your paycheck. If you're a middle-class family, take your salary, multiply by 0.02, and the number that pops up on your calculator is the amount of your tax cut. Cynthia Y29 writes, why did Obama give in to the GOP so early when we could have fought just a bit longer and not look so bad? Cynthia, thanks for writing in. We've been having this argument about taxes, quite honestly, for several months. And Cynthia, the President has been opposed to extending the upper end tax cuts since 2004, as long as I've worked for him. The problem that we have is, right now, Republicans are holding the middle class hostage to ensure that they get tax breaks for their wealthy supporters. It's not the President's preferred way. He opposes that. The problem is we can't do anything about it. We had 2 votes on Saturday to try to just make permanent the middle-class tax cuts, and they failed. So the only thing we're left with is either middle-class families watch their taxes go up $3,000 on New Year's Day, or come to an agreement that the President actually thinks increases our economic activity, strengthens our economic recovery, puts money back in middle-class families' pockets, and ensures that their taxes don't go up. There's no doubt that we shouldn't let the Republicans hold the middle class hostage for their wealthy tax cuts. But what the President did was make an agreement that he thought was in the best interest of our economy and in the best interest of the majority of the American people. Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.